Hey, Hal here. Just wanted to tell you we're excited about our partnership with Minus 33. Minus 33 specializes in merino wool base layers for outdoor enthusiasts, from tops and bottoms to hats, socks, gloves, and our gear is going to keep you warm and comfortable no matter what adventure you're on, especially those big woods ones. We're a fifth-generation family owned and operated, a New Hampshire woolen textile manufacturer. They have over 106 years of woolen expertise, and they started manufacturing woolen socks, the Mountain Heritage ones, in New Hampshire in 2018, with the idea that a quality product, affordable pricing, and can be worn and loved from season to season, no matter what your experience level or skill is, so no one should feel uncomfortable or ill-prepared in the outdoor community. Having a reliable gear is one of the first steps towards a lifetime of passion or whatever activity it is. And my caveat to that is you got to wear your woolies. Cotton is death.
This is the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. Come explore the big woods and timber in North America with your host, Maine master guide and deer tracking expert Hal Blood. Listen to Hal and co-hosts Lee Libby and Joe Cruzy as they unlock the secrets of big woods whitetails. Each episode will provide valuable insights into the tried and true system Hal has used for the last 40 years to scout, locate, and hunt mature big woods bucks. Listen and laugh as the crew discusses Hal's legendary adventures and learn how to apply a lifetime's worth of lessons from the big woods to your own hunting and outdoor adventures.
Welcome to the Big Woods Bucks Podcast. I'm your host, Hal Blood. Sitting down here at Pileland Lodge at the end of the second week of deer season with Joe.
Hello.
Co-host. And we're going to shuffle it around a little bit, but we're going to tell some deer stories in the first couple of weeks. And we got Stephen Shands.
Hey.
And Big Ben with us today.
Hello.
For a little bit. So, been kind of a exciting couple of weeks, ain't it?
Yeah, it's been interesting.
For sure.
Real exciting for Ben.
we all just sit around the fireplace all night, listen to Ben tell stories.
That's how I like it.
He's like old grandpa.
Yeah. Well, it was the first week. Last week, the first week was like record temperatures the whole week, huh?
It's hot.
Friggin' hot.
But I think overall it was more deer sightings, wasn't it?
There was.
Yeah,
Than this week, a lot more than this week.
Yeah, it was nuts. I don't get it, but we tallied it up at the end of the first week. I went around to everybody and seen what, asked them how many they saw and all of that. And it was almost like when I tallied it up, I'm like, this can't be, nobody's going to believe it. But
Right.
We saw roughly, give or take a few, 105 does. It was 22 hunters in camp. They saw 105 does roughly in 25 bucks.
Yeah.
Just
Excellent
who
week.
the heck would have thought of that? And they finally, after we had a bunch of mishaps all week, and finally one guy pulls through and killed a 7-pointer on Saturday evening. That's the only one we hung on the pole, but there should have been, 4 more?
After his guide left.
After his guy.
Yeah.
I sent him I said, they go, is any place else we could try? And I go, I had to think about it. And I sent him into a spot. And the first thing in the morning, I told him to come in at like 3 different ways. I told him how to get into this piece and kind of hunt towards each other. And one of the guys, Eddie, he hadn't even barely got going. He'd walked down this winter road there about, couldn't have been a quarter of a mile. And he heard rustling in the leaves just off the side of the road, little hardwoods there, and he grunted. Here comes a buck walking up over the hill. He said it was a 6-pointer, but it was outside its ears. Pulls up and shoots at it. It was head on. Thing takes off. Have a cut of hair. He was walking down there, and you see where he cut a limb off. He shot a limb. So that's how they got started. And then John, the other guy, shot one in the evening, a 7-pointer.
Yep.
So.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they had some success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but what did we figure out? We should have had 4 more or 5 more?
2 this week. I know we had 2
No, I
misses
mean
this
last
week,
week.
and then
Just-
last week was 4, right? Because they were
think we
mostly all yours.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
3.
5. No, we should add 5, right? Didn't you miss? You
Well,
had 3.
3 of the ones that we should have had. 3 of the ones that we should have had, those guys saw, and then I saw one. It was just how it happened.
Right.
I was 50 yards away. I was going to try to go up on this little knoll and try to get a deer that was blowing at us to come down, and I saw that one.
Nick's client shot at one, didn't he?
Yes,
Yeah,
That's what it
right,
was.
that's right,
Nick's
that's right.
client
I
shot
forgot
at
about
one.
that.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
I think he said in the same spot that
That he got
he
one.
got the one a couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Another a nice one, Nick said too. Yep.
Yeah, so we had last week there was 2 wounded or 1 wounded last week.
1.
Yep.
1 wounded and
3 misses
3 misses.
and 1 kill.
1
One
kill.
kill. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, good news is I guess some deer are still out there. Ben, you determined the one that your guy wounded was going to be all right because you rattled it in again the next day, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was definitely all right. I couldn't believe it came right back in, but he did.
Yeah, because you rattled him in the first day, right?
Well, so we rattled first thing in the morning. We get up and we moved a couple 100 yards, 300-400 yards, and I just got to a spot where it looked good. So I said, let's just try it again. Even though we hadn't gone that far, I just wanted to. There's a big bog in front of us, and there was deer in there last year when we had snow. There was deer all through that bog. So I sat him down, and it's beautiful off to our left. It's these little popple trees that are they're probably only 6 inches or so, but they're all spaced out nice with some brown ash mixed in. Just a really pretty spot. So I sat the kid down when I was rattling. I sat those guys away from me a little bit, just off to the side. So if a deer pinned the noise, I was thinking maybe they'd pin me and not the hunter in case he had to move around. So I had just let out a few grunts. I had one of those bleat cans, and I let a couple bleats go, and I was using a rattle bag, and I just smashed that thing together with my hands and barely made 3 rolls of my hand there. And all of a sudden, 50 yards behind us, I hear a bunch of noise, so I turn around and I look, and there's a buck closest to us. And I never really did see what the other deer was, but there's another deer a little bit further away, and they just blow out of the woods from behind us. And it's actually kind of right where we had just walked through. So I don't know if we had just walked by those deer, if they had come in while we were setting up. I really don't know how they got there. And so I told the kid, I said, hey, nice buck, like that. And so he gets up, and it all happened so fast. The deer's going right down through the center of those popple and the brown ash and stuff, and you can
Like
see
moving
it.
faster.
Yeah, he was. They were out of there when I rattled on that bag. It scared them, I think, is what happened, and they just took off. Well, I blew at him and piled on the brakes. He stopped right up, and I said, "Holy smokes!" And he was right there. Just couldn't see him. He was just probably 75 yards away, and so I got the kid over close to me, Eli there. He's 16 years old, and he did a great job in the woods, too. He did a real good job. But so he comes over to me, and I start blowing on the can again, that little bleat can. And it was probably 3-4 minutes or whatever. We start hearing steps, and I'm thinking, he's sneaking away now. It's going to have to figure out something. Then I got listening a little more, and I said, that deer's coming back. So I said, Eli, come over here. Because there was 4 big trees that were lined up, spaced out from right in front of us to 40 yards out. And that deer was walking, so he was going to come out on the other side of that line of trees there. So I told him, I said, come on over here, step over here. And then all of a sudden I was seeing his rack coming. Now he was picking his head up, and he was putting it back down. He's picking his head up, and I could see the top of his back, and then he was just working out perfect. And he came out, and I said, you see him? He says, yeah. I said, take your time, make a good shot. And he takes a few more steps, and he looks at us, and pow, he shoots. And I saw him when he shot. He reacted to it. And he only made a couple bounds, and he kept on going the same direction that he was coming from. And he only made a couple bounds and stopped right there. So I said, you got to move over to my left there. It was all happening quick, but he ran over to the left there. And at where he stopped, I couldn't see him very good, but he could. So he took another shot at him, and then that was it. The buck had enough, and he took off and went right back the way he had originally started going.
So what was he shooting?
he was shooting a 45-70, a Marlin guide gun with a Skinner peep sight. It was a beautiful gun. So I was fairly certain that first one had got him. And I said, man, how do you feel about your shot? He said, yeah, I had it right on him. I said, all right, good. So when he was running away, I told him, I said, if you can get another one into him, shoot him again. He shot 2 more times, pow, pow, and then they were gone. So we waited a second. I said, how do you feel? And we talked about it for a little bit. We went down in there, and at first we couldn't find any blood at all. And then we ended up finding some about 40, 50 yards down. And at first it looked good. It was really coming out of him pretty good. And about 150, 200 yards later, it was really getting spotty. So I told him before we tracked it up too bad, I said, let's just pull out of here. We'll go back and see if we can get a dog, and a blood tracking dog, and come back in. So we did, and they came back in, and Josh came in from Greenville there, and his dog did an excellent job. But we determined that after, I don't know how far it was, I think Josh said it was 1.2 miles, we got him up and was pushing him. We could tell he had running tracks ahead of us, and we knew we were pushing him, so we just said, all right, we'll pull off him. And so we talked about it, and Josh said he would come back the next morning, but I felt pretty confident with the amount of blood that we were finding that deer was going to live. So I said, well, let's just go back in there in the morning and we'll hunt him. We'll just hunt around, and if anything happens, maybe we'll run into something, whatever. So we get in there, we get right to the last blood the next morning, and we go in and we walk through this, and that deer, when we left him, he was going up the edge of this real thick growth on the left-hand side, and there was a wide open cut on the right-hand side, and he was skirting that edge. So we got up in there and went a couple hundred yards, and right on the edge of the thick stuff, there was an old road that cut up in there, and it just turned into another patch of beautiful woods. I said, let's just sit down right here. Let's just sit down, rattle again, right? So we did. We went in there, did the same thing. I sat him a little ways away, and 20 yards away or so, maybe not even that far, and rattled again. Sure enough, here comes a deer coming up from behind us. And it took me a second because it was coming in so slow. I didn't know. I wasn't really 100% sure if it was a squirrel at first. Then I started breaking sticks, and so I got Eli's attention. I said, hey, there's I motioned into him, there's a deer behind us, and he hears it finally, and all of a sudden I realized this. At first he was coming up behind us, which would have been great because the wind was blowing from our right to left, and then I could hear him. He came right into our wind, and that was it. He just stopped. There was no more, and I knew it happened. He got our wind, and he snuck out of there. He never blew, never did anything. So we waited about 10 minutes, and I said I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't sit there anymore. I said, Eli, come on. So we snuck back down pretty much where we just came from, and we thought we had heard something off to our right out in that cut. So we were kind of paying attention out there, and we finally realized that there's probably nothing out there because we could see out pretty good. So we just taken a couple steps, and I look up ahead, and that buck's walking through this little opening in that dark growth. And so we were so close to him, I didn't dare say anything, so I just threw my hand out and pointed at him. He got his gun up ready. He was like, but by that time, the deer was gone. It was just, we never saw him again after that. So we thought, I didn't think the deer had seen us because he wasn't running, no tail up, no nothing. So we just kept on sneaking up in there, and nothing. There was just nothing up in there, and we did a pretty good job sneaking. And all of a sudden we come to a running track, and as soon as we came to that running track, it was kind of funny. The last spot of blood, or the last couple of spots of blood that we had found the day before had a bunch of bubbles in it, like an extreme amount of bubbles in it. Like the only thing I can think is maybe it's under his armpit, and when he was moving, it was making bubbles or something. So it was really distinct blood that he was leaving. And right on the first running track, there was a big, a spot about a quarter size of that bubbly blood again. So so that deer had come right back into a grunt the rattle the very next day after being shot. The same sequence. I didn't change it up much of the grunting and bleating before.
That's
right
crazy.
Back in. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But it was nice to see that he did do that. To know it just made it clear in our minds that he's going to live. At least he's healthy right now. At least so.
Yep.
Yep.
That was nice.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, he was a nice one. He never. Yeah, he was really, really nice. He was one of those ones that he never curled back in. He just kept on. He kept his. Once he came out, his antlers never came back. They just stayed going out. It was a nice buck, really nice. Too bad, but
Yep.
so good.
Maybe I'll
how it
pick his
goes.
track up here next week.
Hey, I hope so.
Follow the one with blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Learn a lot in those ones, huh?
absolutely.
Learn a lot.
And I think the kids did too. And, so it was good.
Yeah.
So last week, Ben had a good moose season too. We talked about that already. First day Ben,
Yeah.
every day, and then last week all this is happening. We're like, Ben's getting nominated for Guide of the Month.
Yeah.
It's crushing it.
Yeah. Then
Crushing
Yeah.
that was didn't one of you guys miss one the first day last
Yeah, the
week?
first day there was his older brother Caleb shot at a nice. It was a 6-pointer. Didn't have any brow tines, but it was out to his ears. Nice one. He missed it. Yeah. So and then me and Caleb were hunting. So the 2 days after. Now it's jumbling all together, and I can't really remember, but I think it was 2 days after. The day after we called that one back in, we were hunting. Me and Caleb were hunting together, and we saw a nice buck that day too. We were walking up the trail, and it was thick on both sides, and there was a little patch of alders right in the middle of the skidder trail up ahead of us, probably 30, 35 yards. And it was kind of quiet that morning. There's a lot of loud conditions.
Yeah.
But that in the mornings were the best time. It was a little bit of dew on the grass and stuff, and then on the leaves. And I see a tail going, and so I stopped him. I said, "There's a deer right there." And I blew at it again, and it stopped in its tracks again, right behind the alders. But I couldn't, with my binoculars, I could not make the deer out. It was probably 8:30 in the morning. It was just dark, kind of dark in there. I just couldn't see what it was. I couldn't see the deer at all. And so we're standing there, and I blow on the call a few times, and finally that deer starts to move, and he comes out. He sticks his head out from those alders, and we can see immediately that thing is a great big tall rack. And he didn't come up very far out to the end of his nose, but I think it was because he curled back around, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I think he just made a hard curl, but he was real tall. And I don't know what happened. It's just he couldn't get him in his scope, and he made 3 steps across the trail there, and he went up in. And we lost him. We didn't get any shots at him, so.
Think you could have shot him?
I think I probably could have poked one into him, but it's
Or 3 or 4.
But it wasn't me, so it's
Ben's about as tall as any tree in the woods out there,
and
too.
that's
That
it.
helps.
It does help too. These guys hadn't hunted like this very much, so it's hard to be quick when you just don't expect it or whatever.
Yeah. Most people, used to sitting in a tree stand or a blind or something, and you don't need to react quick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then about an hour later, he was a little bit bummed that he'd missed that one or whatever, so I sat him down and we rattled and just wanted him to calm down. And we got out from that rattle there and went out a little ways, and right where we're hunting is a lot of knobs, one after another, just everywhere, and they cut all in between and as far up on the knobs as they could. And we got through this little patch, and one blew at us up on top of one of these knobs, and he was probably 50, 60 yards away. And it's loud, so I just told him, I said, "Why don't you stay here? And I'm going to go up around on the back side of that knob, see if I can get him to bump him out in front of you." So that's what I did, and I made it about 50 yards from the kid, maybe not even. And I hear a little noise, and on this knob, this particular one, it's like a pocket where it's really steep on the edge of this knob, and it makes almost a 90. And that I wasn't expecting anything to be backed right into that little pocket. So, and plus where the blow came from, or where he blew at us, it was way up on the top of that knob, right on the end of it. So I heard a little noise, and I look over my left, and there's another buck standing right there. I mean, and it's standing right there looking at me. And then
Will you put me in your backpack with you, Ben?
Yeah,
and we'll go along?
absolutely, Joe. Come on. Yeah, you'd rest your gun on my shoulder. So, yeah, he makes 3 quick bounds up over that little knob, and I yelled to the kid, but Caleb didn't see him. So, yeah, that was 2 bucks that day.
Is that a good one, too?
That one wasn't as good as the first one, but he was.
But yes.
I never would have turned him down ever. Never. I would have killed him. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a good week. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So are you hunting the rest of the season? You're on your own now the rest of the season?
I am. Yeah, I'm going up Sunday to set up
No more
Can't.
dominant spikes this year, huh?
No.
Not after this season so far.
No.
No, he's already seen the dominant. No, the subordinate 8 in there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You're going up north, like way up, or
What, 4? I go
Yep.
up in 4.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah, where we always go. So I'm looking forward to it.
Where is that you camp, Ben?
Oh, I don't know. I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
Secret Stream.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fun. Good week.
All right.
and then
Another good week this week, right, bud?
Yeah, we started right off with a bang, literally. Yeah.
That was Monday too, wasn't it?
That was Monday.
Got to
Yeah,
call
me and-
him Ben Monday.
I had guiding Justin Weber again. He was my very first deer client with Big Woods Bucks. So, yeah, it was. We were going through, and it's been pretty dry, really. We hadn't scared anything, bumped anything. It was really loud.
Went up in the knobs again, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We went right back in the knobs.
I don't know why, but
So we were making our way through there, and I'd fallen in the stream, so I was soaking wet. But yeah, it was. So we got enough in there, and I actually didn't even. We were just sneaking up through, and I was blowing on the call a little bit, and just go a little ways. We were just still hunting, pretty much.
grunting.
Grunting.
Yep.
So I think maybe I still hunt a little bit faster because I don't have a lot of patience. So I just try to walk as slow as I possibly can without, waiting too much or whatever. So we're going up through, and I'm looking. Justin had just found a moose horn. So if truth be known, I was thinking about moose horns. Yeah. It was noontime. And
that's never happened.
So I hear Justin he just made this slight noise, like that, just real quick, and I see a gun come up beside me. I'm thinking, okay, he sees something, and as soon as it was all happening just in the blink of an eye, and I'm looking over where he's pointing his gun, and just as he shoots, I'm seeing the buck, and when he shoots, he knocks it right off his feet, and the buck's standing on this little 4-foot knoll, and he shoots, knocks him off his feet, and then the buck kind of stumbles up, and there's a blowdown with a root ball, and he kind of bangs into that root ball, and Justin shoots again. He kind of flops himself up over and gets going. He's gone. So we're sitting there celebrating. We thought for sure it was a done deal, how he knocked him off his feet and all that stuff. So we wait just a few minutes, and 10 minutes or so, and we get up in there, and there's blood everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Just like what you'd want to see. It looked good, and long story short, same deal. We get in there quite a ways, couple 100 yards, and this deer is bleeding a lot better. He's coming out both sides, and every time he drops blood, he's dropping 10 drops at a time for a long ways. And then he gets down into the swale grass, and it was a little bit harder to find down in there. So I said, you know what? Instead of us tracking this all up, let's get that guy in. Let's get Josh back in here with the dog, because he was going right for a stream there, and I knew if we got across that stream, there's a long stretch of swale grass and alders and stuff like that. So I said, let's back out of here, and we'll go get him. So Josh came back in, and sure enough, the deer had crossed the stream, and so they went one way, I went the other. I found where he had come across and stood there looking, and he dropped a bunch of blood, and he bedded down shortly after that. And last time when we jumped the deer up, the dog got really excited all of a sudden. It was just, he really, she just wanted to go, pulling on the leash and stuff like that. And he said, uh-oh, Ben. I said, I know. So we had jumped it up again, and we could see the tracks there running up ahead of us. So we called it again, said this deer's doing all right now. So we went back in the next morning and found where the bed was, and it was quite far forward in the bed where the blood was. So we hunted in there until about noon, just really searching everywhere. We really weren't hunting. We were hunting for that deer, just in case it was dead or whatever. And we never came. There was one more spot of blood outside that bed, but it was small, and we never got anything else after that. So
Worst get shot, you figured then.
most likely, yeah, it was so far forward in the bed that it had to have been.
Yep.
But happens. Stinks. It's too bad for the deer, but it happens.
Yep.
Yep.
More action.
More action. And we saw, we had a good rest of the week. We didn't see any more bucks the rest of the week, but we saw some deer. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting closer.
You had a little action too, Steven, huh?
Yeah, I had a really good first week. Saw a ton of deer the first week. Just one small buck, one small 6-pointer, though. Then this week I had the blind I'd set up. I got a gal hunting with me and her husband, and she shot at a nice buck on Tuesday morning. She saw 4 deer out of the blind on Monday, and then shot at a nice buck Tuesday. They come in like 20 yards away. She said she wasn't really into the whole idea of hunting. She said, honestly, when she saw it, she was kind of like, well, geez, now I got to shoot this thing. So, but she shot once and jacked another shell in, and he just looked at her when she jacked the shell in. And she said she fired again, and they kind of walked off. So she got out of the blind and followed it up in the woods, and they kind of walked together, and she shot at it again, and then
Now, just I mean,
yeah, just
when
very.
Steven was
The
telling
whole
me
story is, and she's telling me
Oh,
very
man.
nonchalantly about all this. She's just like, I'm up there with her looking for tracks and blood. She's like, this is where it went, and I kind of followed it up here and shot at it again here. And she's like, but then I was down to one bullet, she said, and I thought maybe I hit it, so if it fell over, I want to be able to finish it off. So she said I was kind of like, I don't know if I should use my last bullet or not. So she didn't take her last. She could have shot at it a 4th time. She didn't take her last shot because she was hoping it was going to tip over, and no blood, no hair, no nothing. So the buck lives to see another day.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
yeah, somehow I missed that story earlier in the week, so
Yeah,
I
I
heard it for
did.
the first time tonight.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
revisited
Well, I
it a
left-
couple times with
Well, it
Steven.
was Tuesday, and I went to vote Tuesday night. That's why. So I wasn't here to tell it, and I don't know if she's told everybody the story or not. But
I think she was trying to keep it quiet because
Oh,
I
it
never
was.
heard about it till last night when her husband told me.
well, I think she was worried because she's like, I feel bad because everybody else here wants to be here and be hunting and shoot deer. And she says, I could. She's like, I just shot it because it was right there in front of me, and I'm up here, Yeah. So,
Man.
but we saw a couple of small bucks this week, and again, we saw a lot of deer. The bucks are chasing does. Definitely caught a lot of bucks. Caught some bucks chasing does today. So,
Starting to tune up a little bit.
yep. Running the does to the running with the flags up type of running. So they're
And
chasing.
and last week your client Chad there had the
he's-
record for
Yeah,
deer.
he saw over 20 deer last week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Wow.
that was pretty good.
Yep. Chad's a good hunter though. He's a really good hunter.
Yeah,
Yep. He's quiet in the woods. He's real. Just like hunting by yourself with another.
yeah,
Another shadow is all it is. Yeah, real good hunter. He's going to get a nice one of these days with us.
yeah,
A lot of nice bucks on camera. Yeah.
yeah. I've been finding a lot of sign. I've been traipsing around trying to show my hunters a buck.
Yeah.
Can't do that, but
A lot of water in the woods. I've noticed a lot. We were talking about it today. I think that's why a lot of my signposts haven't been hit is there's too much water around them.
yeah, a lot of them. But I think the signpost, what I saw, was hit early,
Yeah.
and then I think the hot weather kind of got them down on that because I noticed. I looked at a couple that I looked at the weekend before the season, and there'd been nothing. They were shined,
Yep.
and nothing back since.
Yep. A lot of scrapes in the woods where I've been at. I've seen a lot of scrapes this year.
Yeah, a lot of. I call them the half-assed ones. They're more like pawing a little bit, not too fierce. I haven't seen. I saw finally yesterday. I found the first real good one, but all the scrapes I found like last week and most of this week were small, with small tracks in them.
Yep.
Not any of them big monster tracks in them.
Must be all area dependent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because up there on the border and down in the Forks, those two spots I hunted pretty, hard the last 2 weeks. There's big bucks making a lot of big scrapes in there, especially down in the Forks where I've had Brad hunting.
Probably more competition too.
Yeah,
I mean, there's more
that's
does
probably-
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be it, especially down there in the Forks.
The places I hunt, there ain't as many deer. I'd rather be far from everybody, and
Yep.
there ain't as many deer, but there's good signpost areas to hunt and stuff. So
Hopefully today was the last
Yeah, mediocre
I
day.
hope so.
warm day.
I hope so
Yep.
too.
no, it's supposed to be 60 again tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but the
60
rain's going to
raining.
help, though. I mean,
Yeah, but then it's
the
gonna
rain
go.
makes it completely
The
different.
front's coming in
It's gonna be nice.
tomorrow afternoon, and then next week's gonna be cold.
Can we talk about how frustrating it is when it's that warm out in the middle of the day,
my
and
word.
and the leaves are so crunchy that
Yep.
Can't
I
dress
mean-
for it.
It's kind of like going
like-
through the motions.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
right.
That's the
Right.
best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to hunt. We're out
Gotta
there
go
hunting
every day.
And at one point today. I mean, Ben's not guide Ben, guide of the year, but my client Ben. I mean, just a great attitude about it because he understands. You can't do anything about it. But at one point today, we sat and we rattled and I got done and we set up. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Why? You haven't said anything." I said, "I don't know. Frustrated." I said, "It's so warm. And it's what you said. It's going through the motions. You're out there. You're trying. And actually, I think it was right after that is when we bumped one. So that always gets you going a little bit. When you get into some deer again. But
yeah, but there's always
it's
a chance.
tough up here.
But you got to be in the woods.
You got to be in there.
You go through those motions over and over, and
Yep.
finally you
That's right.
bang into something.
And there's always, like today, I would say today was weather-wise and action and everything was probably the worst. I didn't guide last week, but this week for sure. To me, it was the warmest and loudest. And
there weren't many reports of people seeing deer today. I think we saw. I think my truck saw 3 deer today.
Yeah, we saw 2.
Yeah, just a few.
And
few
so,
sightings.
you look like I know some guys left and are heading out tomorrow because the rain's coming in. But man, that rain to me is way better than today because it quiets it down.
Sure,
you can
agree.
walk.
Yeah.
You can
agree.
You can get around the woods and even.
Well,
I don't think it's going to stop the deer from moving. But even if they do stop from moving, you can at least step on them.
That's right.
You can at least get in the woods and walk.
I think it same way with moose hunting. Even if it's warmer when it rains, it's cooler for them.
Oh yeah,
got the water on them and stuff.
Yeah. So
Hey, Hal here. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership with OnX Hunt. I've been using it for a while now, and if anybody knows me, they know I'm not a very techie person, but the OnX app is it's a real time saver. I remember the days when we poured over topo maps everywhere we was going to go and stuff, and I don't do that quite as much anymore. Where it's really helped me is scouting, whether it's deer scouting, a moose, or even turkey hunting in the spring, which I do. It really helps out. I don't have to spend as much time running around the truck burning up the gas. I'm just basically using my OnX. Got it on my phone. Don't even carry a GPS anymore. So I just download the areas where I'm going to be hunting, whether it's up north moose hunting, and I use it mostly on the satellite imagery. I like to see the cuts and the clearings and the turkey hunting, the hidden fields and stuff. But everybody's using it now, from the game wardens to land surveyors, and just a great tool. And with our partnership with OnX, if you use a code BWB, you're going to receive 20% off on your first premium or elite memberships. And you just go to onxmaps.com/hunt. You'll be glad you did. Good luck on the trail.
Hi everyone, team member Mark Sheeran here. Listen, everybody's been asking why we switched to the Skinner peep sights this year. And there's a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, the owner of Skinner Sights, Andy Larson, was willing to collaborate with us to build the best ghost sight for tracking on the market. And he took our input and really put it into practice. And the aperture, the ghost ring itself is thinner, so it allows more light in. It's all steel construction. It's got a lifetime warranty, and it's also a very elegant sight. So there are some other features as well. The ghost sight itself is dovetailed into the body of the sight, which makes it really, really sturdy, and it can't fall out of adjustment. And between that and the fact that it's all steel, and the peep sight is optimized for the tracker and the still hunter, it's an amazing sight. So you can go on to bigwoodsbucks.com and get your BWB Tracker Series peep sight today. All right, good luck on the hunt.
Anybody else get swamp ass, or is it just me?
just you.
Wicked.
Yeah, just you. I never do.
It's me. Nope. I don't like dressing for it. It's hard to dress for.
Yeah, you're right.
You start going up a hill and you start sweating to death. And
You're
you start
right.
going
Yeah.
down, especially because the wind's been bad too. So then you get up on a bluff and you sit there for 5 minutes and freeze to death.
Yeah. I'll tell you, last week was the first week ever I hunted the whole week and never put wool pants on.
Yeah.
I put my the ones I wear moose hunting, those Microtex fleece,
Yeah.
Microtex pants. I get them at Cabela's. But anyways, that's all I wore all week, and in my light wool shirt. I never put a jacket or a vest on or nothing. I wore my light wool shirt with
I
the
didn't
long
either,
john
Al.
top, and
I
that was
couldn't.
it. Yeah.
No, just couldn't do
I
it.
wear my
fleece
big
always.
woods jacket whenever I can, just because I'm so used to it with where the pocket, everything
Yeah.
is comfortable to me, where all my stuff goes. And so this morning, I put it on.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And I wore it till about, I don't know, I think 10 or 11. We
Ooh,
ended
you
up
must
back
have
at the
died.
truck.
Holy
I was hot.
smokes.
Yeah,
Holy
thankfully it was
smokes.
downhill coming back.
Holy smokes.
I do have it, so I do have it a place I can put in my fanny pack. I got it. I roll it up and can put it on there, but it's heavy on the back. But I do wear it. I find that it's the quietest thing I can wear, and it's the most comfortable. And if it's even somewhat cool where I can stand it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the day I was in nothing but a thin shirt. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
warm. I think I saw 65 or 66 in the truck when I got coming out later.
Crazy. Gee.
Well, the weather's changing in time for the chasing to begin, because it's going to start this next week. We're
Just in
still,
time.
we're still not quite. When's the 15th? What's the date today?
Today's the 11th.
Yeah, see, we're not quite. It's coming. There's going to be a few does in here the next few days, but next week it should be chases on, huh?
Good deal.
And
I think
little
just
snow
looking
coming.
Yep, that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah,
Right
probably
on the-
not
right
until
on the
4.
15th,
It'll
I
all
think.
be an 8
Right on the 15th, I think it's supposed to snow.
on the what?
Right on the 15th is supposed to
Yeah.
snow, isn't it? I think it's the 15th.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Ben it's only going to snow in zone 8, not 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know where I'll be hunting then.
Yeah, he'd be coming down here. He'd be hunting with us still. He's got some bucks figured out anyway from the first
Yeah,
week.
Sure.
Well, I know it's different a little further south, but I mean, just seeing on social media the bucks that are getting killed. I mean, whenever you see these big bucks start dropping,
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah, they're a full
No
week.
question.
It's a full week ahead of us
And
down there.
and I definitely noticed on cameras, it's like all of a sudden, and it's not big bucks yet, but all of a sudden there's movement. They're starting
Good deal.
cameras that never got anything on them for the last month, and then there's 3 bucks on it.
Necks
Oh,
are
yeah.
getting
No,
big.
not
Necks
moving, yeah.
are getting
Nice.
bigger on the bucks. I'm getting pictures of.
Yeah.
Yep. They all look filled out right now.
Yep.
Nice.
I put another camera out today.
You did in that spot you were telling
I do
me
that
about
when it's
yesterday?
real hot and
Yeah.
I'm not having
Nice.
fun hunting. I do cameras a lot. I know I catch myself doing that a lot.
I
Going
just
out
put
random cameras.
I just
and-
put them out. I'll
checking
pick them up. I never check them. I just pick them up the end of the season
Yep.
and see what
Yep.
was there.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't read the screen anyway. Screens on them are so small.
I got to remember to start bringing some extras. I never do that, and I'll get into an area. You'll find something good, and oh, geez, I wish I had a camera with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
And,
did
and honestly, I've got enough sitting around, that I don't use, that I just soon put them up and leave them till all winter. Just come back next year and get
Yeah,
them.
right,
It's always
right.
fun to look at
Yeah.
them.
Absolutely.
I had a great camera up I left all year just because I didn't have time to get back to it. And I pulled it this summer, and I should have left it up because I had $3 on it this spring. But I put it back up, and I got a picture of that big, tall, wide 9 was in there.
Yeah.
So I wish I'd got him all summer. Would have been nice, but I pulled that camera by accident.
Since we're on cameras, are we going to talk about Brian's heartbreak last night?
Oh, man. That's too bad.
It is.
Yeah. It's a nice buck.
Yeah,
Real
so
nice buck.
so Brian Donaghy had this real nice buck on camera, and he had been showing us pictures of it and everything. And I didn't even it didn't even dawn on me.
daytime too.
Yeah, it didn't even dawn
yeah.
on me when I saw the picture. So Rylan, Hal's grandson, brought a couple pictures. And he said, "Oh, there were some good ones tagged at Bishop's today." And he showed me. And I said, "Oh, that is a good one. Boy, look at that one." It was over 200, but there was some controversy with that too, I guess. But anyway, so when the guys get in, I said, "Oh yeah, there's a couple of good ones tagged." And so the camera, the phone starts going around with a picture, and Brian looks at it and realizes it's the one that he had on camera.
That's my
That's my buck.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just that. I know he was looking forward to going into that area.
I don't blame
As
him.
soon as he got snow.
And it is pretty crazy. I mean, all the woods up here and all the people hunting, and that one showed up like that and
Right.
it
Yeah.
worked out like that.
Right.
Well, his downfall was he was roaming around during the day, see?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and it isn't. The other downfall was it weren't that far, out.
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
woods.
very deep in
They
there.
weren't very
Yeah,
far away.
right.
So, yeah. I went
what do
down-
you think about traffic as far as people? I mean, I haven't seen anyone in the woods this week, but
Tons of Vermonters
We haven't
on
either.
the
Lot of-
whole
lot of-
road anyway.
a lot of vehicle traffic.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Vermont guys come early because they go back and hunt
Go back,
theirs. But
which I think their season starts this weekend. I think so.
Yeah,
They'll
but
disappear.
there's no big amount of people. I think to me it looks fairly quiet. I mean, you see a few vehicles on the road, but I don't think it's getting hunted too hard around here.
Yeah, there's been some nice ones. There was actually one in an area I like to go to right here close by that was shot. That was 225. That was a nice buck.
Yeah,
Nice rack.
A lot right around 200. A lot of 190, 195 to 200 pounders. It's like 4 or 5 on the board down there. That big.
Did anyone stop today and see?
I didn't.
I
no,
stopped this morning.
no.
I stopped this morning.
This
It's
morning,
only a couple 200 pounders, and then a lot, like I said, right around 200, just under.
Yeah, those real big ones ain't started roaming much. But
Right.
Yeah, my client Trevor, he stopped this morning and he said there was 52
Yeah.
tagged, and a lot of them are does because
Yeah.
a lot of people got doe permits. But I checked on Sunday at the end of the first week, and there was 32. So they killed 32 last week and basically 20. There'll be more because tomorrow.
It'll be busy tomorrow. A little
Yeah,
busier.
all the locals are out be hunting tomorrow, and
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll probably bump it up to 60. So it's pretty good for no snow. That's pretty good up here for the first couple weeks in the weather.
I will. It's unfortunate for anyone hunting this week. It was weather wise it wasn't ideal, but it is nice looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate the
Yeah.
good
I hope-
times.
Absolutely.
That's when I Monday I'm started into my retirement.
Yeah.
It's official, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. Passing it all on to you guys. Yep. Well, I wanted to say something about that because I've been getting messages from people when they find out I'm retiring. A lot of people thought that we were done here with outfitting and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to clear that up. That's just me. I've been guiding those 2 weeks, since I started again. But
How long you been guiding now, Hal? Deer? How many years?
I don't know,
Putting you on the spot.
30, almost 35 years.
I
Yeah.
see him working. The math's going.
Yeah. Yeah. But so anyways.
The Big Woods Outfitters will keep on going.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
going, and all you young guys will keep going, and I'll take my grandson.
Perfect.
I got to teach my grandson. Try to impart what I know into him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Dalti's boy shot a nice buck.
Yes,
Oh,
he
that's
did.
right, yeah.
Glenn,
Nice.
Glenn shot a nice buck.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that today. Glenn
Glenn got a nice
Lombardi
Adirondack.
got one in Adirondacks.
It's like a nice
I'm
wide
anxious
one.
to hear the story on that
Me
one
too.
too.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yep. And Sam's was an 8-pointer, and
Yep, another nice boy. He sent me a picture of it.
down in
earlier.
Rhode Island, local, and he's probably chomping at the bit. This probably to get up here this week and go hunting with Bad Lee.
Oh, that's right too.
He's
He's
gonna-
coming this coming week.
Well, he's going to come with the snow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Good for him.
yeah.
That was something. That buck that he killed, which hopefully it gets posted on the Big Woods page, but it was like it was wearing a black mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark
It
on
was
the face.
wild
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty buck. Really pretty buck.
Yeah.
Good for him.
You think
That's
Chris
two
is
in a
gonna,
row,
you
two
think
nice
Chris
ones
going to
in a
help
row.
him out and get that mounted? That's a pretty cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it sure is.
Like that's. I mean, it was a beautiful buck. I don't think it was as big as the buck he got last year as far as the rack goes, but I mean the
It's unique.
face was so
Very
pretty.
unique.
I mean, how do
Yeah.
you not,
Yeah.
Right.
Chris?
Yeah.
Get it mounted for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
He's going to cut all this out.
Yeah. Get some of them mothballs out of your wallet there. Get it done.
Speaking of Chris, he scolded me last time I was on because I didn't tell the story about my daughter shooting her deer.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So,
absolutely, yeah.
my daughter got her first deer. She's 8 years old there, and my buddy Steve Braley has a food plot that he let us set on, in which I wanted to say thank you to him publicly there because we really appreciate it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I was most nervous I've ever been when that deer stepped out. I was a mess, and she kept it together. And when it came out there, it was a nice doe. You know, not a huge doe, but it was a nice one. Didn't really matter to us anyway. And it was kind of funny too. She told me right from the beginning that I don't want to shoot a doe, Daddy. She kept on telling me that. As soon as that thing stepped out, that was all gone.
Can I shoot it?
That was out the window. So it stepped out there, and we talked about it real quick. It was fun. We were joking around and having a good time, and I looked out, and that thing was stepping out of the woods. I said, "Oh, Anna, there's a deer right there." And so I said, "Let's let it get a little bit closer," and I helped her set up her gun there, and so I said, all I told her was just look at it through the scope. And in her mind, that was the go-ahead. So I had just got my binoculars up, and I was looking at it. And same thing as like the hunter before. I was looking at it, my binoculars, and kapow! And I see it. It reacted real good. You know, it really humped up its shoulder and stuff and ran in the woods there. It was only like 20 yards into the field. And so I looked at her, and I couldn't tell what her emotion was, but she had a lot of emotions going through her, and it was like she was disappointed. And I said, "Did you mean to shoot?" And she said, "Yeah, I had it right on the shoulder." I said, "Okay." Okay. But we had talked about letting it get closer.
It was far, right?
Yeah, it was over 100 yards. So
Really nice.
yeah, I never. We'd only practice up to 50, you know, and I do got to say that when she shot her first shot at 50 yards, she took the bullseye out of the center of the target. So, you know, she has done a good job shooting or whatever, but I didn't practice with her out to that far. So I honestly convinced myself that, I don't know, did I see that deer react? You know, I was going through it more than any guided hunt I'd ever been through. I was just a mess. So we get down there, and that thing didn't go 10 yards off the edge of the field. She drilled it right behind the shoulder, came out the other shoulder. It was awesome. Yeah, so yeah, it was a good hunt. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's definitely something special about when daughters hunt.
No doubt about it.
And
Yeah.
it was. I miss those days. You know, when Leah was younger, and obviously now she's still going at it. But that was a lot of fun times. So was that an extra doe tag? Or?
No, I figured where it was her first one. You
Yep.
know, I didn't know if there was, you know, it's maybe a little bit selfish, but I knew I was going to be hunting and stuff. So
Yep.
just, you know,
That's
she got
great,
a couple
though.
turkeys.
She got her doe, yeah.
That's right. She was happy, and I don't
Yep.
think she, you know, it was never mentioned to her that we could get another tag for her or whatever. So she was happy, completely happy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. That's good. Go Anna, huh?
That's right. Go Anna. That's right.
Got yourself a shooter.
Yeah, 2 turkeys, 1 shot with this year also. So it was, yeah, she's doing great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. She cut it up herself?
She did help. Yeah, she stayed right there and helped the whole time. Yeah,
nice.
she loves all that stuff. She's into it, you know.
Yeah.
So
It is. That was the way Leah was always like that too. I mean, as much as the hunting part, you know, if there was something getting cut up, she was out there,
Awesome.
you know, just bloody hands and everything. And I mean, it doesn't, you know, for all the daughters out there or the guys that have daughters, just because it's not a boy doesn't mean they don't want to be into
That's
it.
right.
You know, they
That's
do.
right.
They
Yeah.
do enjoy it just the same. And I think a lot of times it's spending time with dad, but
yeah,
they also get the bug, you know.
yeah.
and
Oh, I think
they
she's
want
got
to be
it.
part of it. So
Yeah.
Ben,
It is
did I
good.
tell you about the hot spot I found this week?
Yes, you did. You did. I'll listen again.
Well, the thing about it was I've never in all my years seen a place like that. You know what I mean? You find these good spots, and you find signpost areas, and you find scrapes. But it was the coolest spot. We got into this place, and the first thing was I never seen brown ash grow in a place like that. Usually it's in where there's water. and there's a wet run and the yellow grass and all that. So we'd come out of this real thick spruce stuff, and it opened up, and I could see that it had been cut, I'd say 10 years ago. But it was a nice little hardwood cut, about maybe 150 yards long and maybe as wide. It was next to a stream, and they'd only cut a tree here and there. Really nice cut. It was cut so nice that there was no whips in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was open. It looked like a national park because it was just, you could see the whole 150 yards right up through there. And everywhere in there was these little brown ash growing up. And there was a couple of good-sized ones. There was no great big huge seed trees, but there was some that were 8-10 inches here and there. And even where they were growing, I'm like, how the heck can they grow? You couldn't see no water there. But there was like it looked like a ditch running up through it with no water in it. And I'm like, boy, this is weird. And those little brown ash were growing everywhere, like maple whips coming up.
Huh.
And there was no maple whips. They were all brown ash. And there was a signpost at each end of it, at each end of the opening, maybe 50 yards up from the spruce, there was one. And then probably 100 yards or maybe the 150 beyond, there was another one. And all around those, between those two, for probably an area 50 yards wide and up through there was probably 25 other rubs in there. It was like everywhere you looked was all, and they were rubbed on all them little brown ash because they were all little. I mean, they was like, most of them were like just a half an inch to an inch in diameter.
Yep.
So they weren't big trees to rub, but they was rubbing them all.
Huh.
And I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen a bunch in a yellow grass run where there's a bunch of brown ash and all that. So it was pretty cool seeing it. And then so now I'm looking, hey, where's a good place to sit here? And it goes right up to a ridge. There's a perfect place to sit.
Huh.
It'd be like a scope place. And I never think about a scope in the woods. But it goes up another ridge into the softwood, and you could sit, get up on that ridge 10 or 20 feet, and you could shoot 150 yards anyways down through there. It's the craziest thing I ever seen in the middle of nowhere, you know. So then when I find them, I got to get exploring because they coming and going there somewhere, right? They're getting there. And where we came out of them spruces, there weren't a sign of a deer. There weren't any sign of a deer down in there. It's just the wrong kind of woods. There was no feed. There was nothing. So I'm saying these deer are going and coming somewhere. So we're next to a little stream, pretty good water in it, nice clear water. So I said, let's walk up this edge. And there was only one skid road that came in. It come down the side of that ridge at the base of it. And that's how they cut them few maples in there. And it looked like there was they cut a few big spruce or fir too. But anyways, we headed up that skid trail, and you could see the deer were walking that, right out the skid trail. And we went up that, and when we got up a ways, it comes out to an old tote road there. So I said, well, and the water got faster, and it was not really the right woods. We cut across the stream, because I told Trevor, my client, I said, see, we're going to have to go up down the other side of the stream because something's probably happening over there because it's beside the stream. So we started down there, and there was brown ash and bigger ones over there, and a few here and there. And we found a good old, right by the brook, there was a beautiful old signpost. It hadn't been rubbed for maybe at least 5 years or more, but it was a really nice one. So we start down, and it's kind of mixed growth, and we're kind of just bebopping down through the openings. We start seeing a few rubs here and a few rubs there. Some were on a little brown ash, an alder. And then we get down to this spot, and I'm looking down in there, and there's like a real flat area that opens up again. So I bop down in that, and it's like a big square with just a few maples in it, but it's open, and this piece is probably 50 yards by maybe 75, and it's perfectly level in there pretty much and open. And then Trevor reaches down and he picks up a bottle, and I go, aha, It's an old lumber camp here. That's why it looks like this. and there was spruce trees in the perimeter.
Okay.
And then it went into the grass and the brush. It's right by the brook. So I said, this was a lumber camp area. I just got done saying to him, usually bucks always, I used to find scrapes and stuff around these lumber camps and these openings. So we started poking over towards the spruce, and I look over. There's a scrape about 6 feet across underneath.
Wow, that's big.
Underneath, yeah, it was a big one. And we go over there and we look at it, and you can see it's been there for years. It's dished right out, dirt going everywhere. It's just been fresh tracks in it. Wet dirt, when it's been dry the last couple of days. And I look over, and there's a couple of pretty big spruces, like 18-inch diameter, 12 to 18s, spruce and a couple firs. And like the scrapes on this side, and I look over there, and there's you can see it's been pawed 2 or 3 other spots right there too. So it's like a big area one. It's spread out like 20 feet,
Jeez.
And then you can see a trail about a foot wide going down into the grass both ways down the edge of it. And I'm looking, I'm like, I think we're right across from that park we were just in a while ago, because we'd been poking for about an hour, I get my Onyx out, and I look at it. Sure and heck, I named it the park, signpost park on the other side. We're right across from it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going, that's what's going on here. So now you got the brook, and you got that beautiful park on there with all them rubs and 2 signposts. And on this side of the brook, you got this great big scrape area, and there's rubs everywhere. Before we even got down there, we kept going. We left that. I said, we got to keep going down this brook because we ain't down even with the end of that park. So we get down and take that run that goes down in the grass, and then there's some alders, and it's really nice woods. There's some alders, but then there's open woods, and everywhere there's rubs. You look in the alders, 2 or 3 rubs in them alders. You go over there's a rub on everywhere.
You leave any cameras there?
Yeah, I put one today.
Good.
I didn't have one yesterday.
Nice.
So I put the camera, and I set it for a 30-second video too.
Nice.
Oh, good.
On that big scrape. I got to get something on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, like I was telling you, Ben, it was far back in.
So he's like, anyways, I'll be out there next week.
I'm thinking it might be a place to pick up a track.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe like Thursday.
Yeah. So, but to get in there, we walked in almost 2 miles, 1.5 miles, canoed across the stream, and walked another 1/2 mile up the other side of the stream.
Oh, nice.
But I was telling Ben, got all the way up there, and we're like, I can drive to like 1/2 mile from the other
come
way.
on.
Yeah, I could. That's how I went in this morning.
Nice.
Oh,
We drove completely around to the other side and went in that way.
Wow.
So
what road was that?
What's that?
What road was that?
That was unknown.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about Onyx a minute? I mean, it is such a great tool.
Oh, my word. It sure is.
I mean, I use all kinds of times during the day. You pull it out, even checking little things like, all right, we're working down. I want to get over there. Let me zoom in there and see what skid trail, go whatever it is. I mean, it's just.
It's so handy. Today we were using it. I was trying to work down this hill, and there was these 2 long bogs, and there was one little tiny piece of woods that cut in between the 2 of them that we could make it down through and get to the other side where I wanted to. And that little button there that you push with the crosshairs on it, and you can see where you're pointing.
Direction.
It makes it so easy.
I don't think a lot of people. I didn't even know that feature was on there a few years ago.
Double tap it. Yeah.
Nick was the one that told me about it. And so it's the little circle underneath where it says 2D, and you just double tap it, and it'll give you a little blue cone,
a cone,
and you can just take and aim it, so and I mean,
and it's accurate, very accurate.
Oh yeah,
so accurate. You're right.
It is.
So you don't have to stare at it the whole time. You point your phone at where you want to go, and you look at something off in the distance, and you just go to that, and then it's so handy.
You know what I do? I point it where I want to go. Get my compass out, get the direction, and that's what I go.
I do that too, right?
Yep.
It works as well. I haven't used my compass this week, but a lot of times I'll have, because I keep it right in my binocular pouch there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can just...
Because I don't like keep taking it out. I mean, it is handy for that, and I use it a lot. But I'm a creature of my compass. If I know what direction I want to go, I work that way with my compass.
I use my phone more than that.
I do
I'll
too.
just pull it out.
I do too.
I
It's
do.
just so quick and easy.
Yeah.
Well, that's you younger generation.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
younger.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was using it some yesterday again. I mean, I use it pretty much every day, but you can tell the colors. The dark green is your softwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the light green is typically a hardwood. But so I kind of proved that a little bit wrong. You got to be careful because I had some light green skid trails and stuff, and then it boarded up to the dark green. Well, the dark green was heavy spruce and fir, like old, you could kind of get through it, but it was a dead zone. There's no feed. And then so I work out into them hardwoods. Well, you know what that was? Softwood
Small
cuts
softwood.
with skid roads through it. You couldn't see 10 feet anyway.
Okay.
All you could do was walk the skid roads.
Okay.
I think I've been to a couple of those places this week.
Yeah. So you still have to look. It isn't going to tell you everything, but it is a good guideline. I like it. Yeah, especially if you're trying to get somewhere and you can see which skid road to take and make it easier.
I like sharing points. I shared a bunch of points with Ben. Ben shares points with me. We all share points together. If we got,
that's another hand.
especially if we have small groups or big groups. So like if somebody has a group with people that want to sit, and somebody has a group of people that want to walk, I'll share stands and blinds, and they'll do likewise that way.
Yep.
Funny you guys never shared nothing with me. What's up with that?
Oh, I get all kinds.
Did you want something?
Braden sent me
You want
one
someone?
last
You want a
night.
blind to sit in now? I'll give you a blind to sit in.
Yeah.
I think I got a good place to sit.
Yeah,
Braden,
sounds like
Braden
it.
was showing me one last night, and he sends it to me, and I have to zoom out
And then
get
zoom
bearing.
back
Yeah,
in.
and look,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
where are we
same.
at here?
Yeah.
Like Braden's so fast with it. He's always in there. He's like, zoom in, all right, right here, and moving around. I'm like, hold on a minute. I don't even know where we are right now, Like, you got to get your bearings on it first.
Yeah.
But once you do, man, what a tool.
Yep.
I've got to clean mine up. I got too many points in mine now.
Yeah, it
Past
starts to get
3
a little
years.
bit jumbled up.
I got to go clean mine out and clean up the ones at least 3 years ago. I like saving the scrape lines from the year before because it's kind of nice to go right back in those same scrape lines and see if they're still getting
Of course,
used.
all the signposts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I keep all those.
Well, like today, Roger, he's going to be guiding next week, and I'm going to leave a camera up on a signpost
Yep.
there, and I told him, go check that if you're going to be in there hunting.
Right.
So it's just nice to...
Yeah. I
Send
just
them right to
mark
it.
mine. I don't mark very many things. I mark mostly everything on mine. If you open it up, it's signposts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I will mark like that scrape I marked, that big one I found. And I have a couple others on it for some reason. It's just strategic or whatever, but I don't mark. I marked one place once to get across a big stream.
I have a bunch of crosses.
Yeah.
You
marked.
couldn't cross
Yep.
it, and there was a spruce tree blown across it. You could get across, so
Nice.
now I'm in
I have
there. I can get to
I have
that.
a couple beaver dams marked
Yeah.
for that reason. Yeah.
It's pretty handy for things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mark stuff like a set of falls and stuff like that too. So like if I'm going by with clients, be like, hey, you want to go see the falls real quick? There's a falls down in below the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got to say something about a new sponsor here. And Joe's going to have to get his phone out so I can see it. Actually, maybe, Joe, you can.
The rabbit trackers are nice.
Oh, yeah.
Those are looking nice. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's any left or not.
Do
but
they all get shipped out? Because
I don't know.
I'll have to check. I
Yeah.
know Brian had his. So
Yeah.
so he
Mine's
had
up
you
at the hardware store. Is that where you had yours shipped?
No, I should have. I used my gun store down in Skowhegan.
Yeah.
So Staples.
They're all in up here. I think they're all shipped, everything that's been ordered.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple left, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So Brian showed me his last night, and I saw your signature on it. At first, I was like, "These are all like signature series with it." He said, "No, I had him sign it, and then I'll just." So we naturally we had a few good laughs after that and made a few jokes about it. But I'll probably have you do mine like that.
No,
that
his
way
is-
it's left.
He paid me to just sign his. He's got one of a kind.
Oh, is that what it was? We're going to do weekend at Bernie's with you, and I'm going to knock you out, and I'm going to take your hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice gun. Oh,
Yeah, it's really nice. It's the action is really nice and smooth. You know,
Yeah, I got to talk to Chris and get mine. Because I missed the emails or whatever when I told him to put me on the list, but as far as I went, so I got to talk to him, get it.
So yeah, so the best thing is now you just start buying them for your daughter. That's what all your guns are for.
That's right.
That's right.
So I need 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, anyways, we just talk for a minute about our new sponsor, and you'll probably hear the ad on it here too. But I guess it's a good opportunity for anybody because it's a lumber mill company out in Wyoming. So if you're interested in making a career move and move to Wyoming, there's some lumber mills out there that need some good help.
Might lose all your guides next year, Hal.
Maybe. Yeah.
Wyoming sounds pretty good,
Sure.
especially politically these days. Oh,
Yeah.
Shouldn't talk politics.
Yeah. It's Spearfish Forest Products Division, and they got a bunch of mills out there. And actually, the guy that's the head of the HR there he's from Maine, John Fennelson, and he moved out there to take that job on. He'd done that in some mills out here in Maine, and he loves it out there.
Yeah, he just went hunting with Rick, didn't he?
Yeah, Rick just went hunting with him, shot that big mule deer. Yeah.
Beautiful mule deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last couple hours of the hunt or something.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that.
Typical Rick fashion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful buck.
Big
Beautiful
awesome.
buck.
That's a way
Giant.
for it to go down sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Get the whole hunt in, right?
Yeah, get the most out of your
That's why
hunt.
you don't give up.
That's what we're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah, get the most out. That's what it is. The
Perfect.
clients get the most
Perfect.
out of the week this week.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I might be moving to Wyoming, I guess.
Is that all you had on that?
We're going to make an ad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just getting them warmed up. Anybody needs a career move.
So that I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go
just the ad's going to explain it all. So.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so I guess the next one's going to be in 2 weeks, so it'll be right at the end of.
Going to be a deer season wrap-up just
Yep.
before muzzleloader season.
Yep, good.
Yeah. By then, we may be close on knowing who's ahead in the buck pool of the Big Woods crew.
Is anyone in it yet? Was Glenn in it?
I don't know. Was Sammy in it?
Good
I
question.
don't know.
Are we counting now tree bucks or no? I don't know if Eric or Neil were in
Yeah.
it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would count.
Yeah.
Sure.
Were they
It's
in it though?
It's a well. If I don't
I
know
don't
if they
know.
enter.
I
Yeah.
see Ben pulling his money out right
I
now.
told
No,
Steve
He's got to
last
send it with
night.
no,
me.
Ben, you can't get in at
I
this
told
point.
him last night.
We all know where
go.
you are this season.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
don't want you
I
in.
got so much stinking money to give Dad now. You guys are insane.
Hey,
Might as well make me.
Ben
in
ain't
it,
gonna
man.
see it. His luck's going the
Oh,
other
yeah.
way.
No,
now.
I doubt that.
Run
Oh,
right
my
out.
God.
Don't put that on me.
Run
Al.
right
Yeah.
out.
Don't put no bad juju on
That's
you.
right. That's right.
It's. I mean, all joking aside, that's an impressive season. Ben.
Yeah.
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 About
It really
Crushed
is.
it.
Yeah.
Fortunate. For sure.
Yep.
Just fortunate.
He's-
Right place,
no
right
matter
time.
what, if you're in moose camp, deer camp, whatever it is,
Yep.
there'll be 4 or 5 guides or 6 guides, whatever it is. The first guide, and Matt's usually the guy in moose camp, but the first guide that comes back with a video or, yeah, we saw this or we killed a buck, every client's going, oh, I wish I was with him. It's always that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be with Ben this week.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
we'll take it.
I can't wait
Different
till
next year.
I can't wait till people start calling in to book for next year. They go, I want Ben.
Want Ben?
Yeah. I go, well, Ben's going to be a little more money this year.
Hey, all right. All right.
Yeah, you're going to guide 4 weeks next year, though, right?
Holy hell.
Say
Take
no
it easy.
now. Say no.
Oh, he already
Yeah.
knows.
All right. Don't fall into that
way.
trap. Because if he gets you,
Oh, what are we talking for a price here?
yeah.
I'm going to be discussing it with your wife. See, that's going to determine it.
You messed up, man.
Yeah, she got a different number.
Well, all right. Well, it's good talk.
Yep.
So we got to hit the hay. We got one more day this week, and we got to be on the A game tomorrow because the weather's going to change to the middle of the day. That front's coming in the afternoon. That's when I'm going to get running around.
I think it's going to, from what it looks like, it's going to be pouring in the morning or raining hard, but then it's going to clear out quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's when it's going to
Good.
be,
Yeah.
be quiet in the woods.
Is it going to be windy? Has anybody heard?
Yeah,
it's
it's good. But that's
Good.
all right.
Excellent.
That's even better.
That's even way better.
It's going to have to be windy to blow this stale air out. And bring
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
Cold air and
by Sunday, it said snow showers. So
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
What a change, huh?
Moose River is going to be up tomorrow.
yeah,
And it's already up.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for this time of year,
yeah.
There's so
It's-
much water in the woods. It's hard to get around.
Yeah.
It's hard to get around in the woods right
I'm
now.
kind
So much
of,
water.
I mean, I know we don't want to talk about snowmobiling, but man, the trails are going to be,
a mess.
Yeah.
this year. We're going to need
Yeah.
some cold weather to get those things.
Yeah.
And a frost.
Oh, I got one more thought. I didn't finish my story about the national park I found with the brown ash.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that's growing there is when we get up to the head of it, there was this looked like a channel through it. Well, what happens is when we get up to the head of it, there was water in it, and when you get the rain and stuff, that stream overflows, probably in the spring runoff, and it floods that area. And there must be the geology is right, so that water stays in the ground
Holes.
to keep it wet. So the water must always be underground there. But you can't see it, but it's solid ground. It's the strangest thing I ever seen.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Take pictures?
of the signposts. Didn't I show you?
Nope.
Yep.
And the funny part is because there's no real big ones in there, there's none of them big old signposts. You see what I mean? Because all the brown ash in there is young. So they're starting some. One of the biggest one is probably a 3-inch diameter.
Yeah.
And then up the other end, there's one it's already been rubbed 5 or 6 years, but it's maybe 2 inches at the most. So that'll be interesting over the years. But everything else is rubbed all up through there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, time to close it down. I got to get my beauty rest. And so we'll sign off and support our sponsors and all that stuff. And ding the box for ding the bell for what? YouTube and
Yep. Subscribers. We're up. YouTube channel's got
yeah.
a lot of subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet,
Yeah.
subscribe to our channel.
Heard we got some good films on there. I haven't watched any, but I don't have time.
Need some
Yeah,
new
Brian's flooded it past month with a lot of
Yeah.
your
Glenn's.
stuff.
I think Glenn's going to kick it off with some new stuff now because I
Oh,
think he
good.
filmed his. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. That's
so
gonna be
hopefully we'll be following it up with some more stuff.
Awesome.
Probably
Are you
save.
filming?
I will. Yes, I will try.
You could have been holding the camera all week. You
I
would have.
know, but I get so wrapped up in
Yeah,
it.
helmet.
I don't.
It
think of
is. It's.
I know. I failed a couple times.
I tried this week. Asked my client. I mean, I tried. I was filming and doing, but it's like,
Yeah. My phone's junk too. It doesn't take very good video, so.
I actually did get I bought one of those new GoPros, the 11.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty handy. I mean, it is easy and it comes on quick and it takes a nice picture and everything. But
I like my little
yeah, you use your
regular
little Canon. Yeah.
handy Canon Vixia there.
Yep.
Just
Those
stick
work
it in my
well.
pocket. I can hold it steady. I can't hold to me,
GoPro.
trying to hold a phone out, and then it don't video the whole picture. It's narrow and stuff. It ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm an old dog. Don't try to teach me them new tricks.
When's Jason coming?
I don't know.
Next week would be a good week.
Maybe. I don't want to have him come up unless it's for sure.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I can't.
Yeah.
It's a long drive for him to get up there. So, well, all right. Signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail. Hey, everyone. Hal here. Hey, we got another sponsor here we want to talk to you about. And it's another company looking for good employees. And it's a good opportunity if anybody wants to move west. It's a company that has lumber mills and stuff out in Wyoming, and so I guess the benefit of that would be there's like over 1 million acres of public land for hunting, fishing, doing all that stuff, and they got competitive wages, free health care and dental premiums to employees and their families, 401ks, company match, $2,000 sign-on bonus, and up to $5,000 in relocation. That's a good deal. Yeah, it's a family-owned and operated company, 80-plus years of business in the Black Hills of Wyoming there. It's Spearfish Forest Products is a division of Neiman Enterprises. So this sounds like a great opportunity if anybody's looking to change careers or just change locations and get some help and benefits doing it. So your contact information is someone I know. Actually, it's John Fennelson, and he's actually from Maine, and he made the move out there to take charge of the Mills area. He's the head of the HR out there, I guess. So, but anyways, it's John Fennelson, and his number is 307-760-7907, or you can email john.fennelson, and it's FENLASON at Neiman, NEIMAN.com. So if you got any questions, you want to talk to John about that, email him or give him a call.
Hi, everyone. This is Big Woods Bucks team member Mark Sheeran. A lot of you know that I've been working with addicts and alcoholics now for the last 32 years. And one of the things that we just developed, which is very exciting, is the Freedom Model online program. And this program makes it so that you can learn the entire Freedom Model curriculum, all 470 pages of it, through pre-recorded video tutorials that myself and Michelle Dunbar, the other co-author of the Freedom Model, built for you. So you'll be able to learn the entire curriculum, how to get over an addiction without AA meetings, without rehab, without endless therapies, without recovery, and you can move on from this problem for good. If you want more information about this, go to online.thefreedommodel.org. That's online.thefreedommodel.org, or call 888-424-2626. And if you want that program for 50% off, use code BWB22. That's BWB22. So go to that address, hit the Enroll Now button, use that coupon code, and you'll have a program for the rest of your life. You can use it anytime you want. You'll get all updates. It's a one-time fee, and it's very affordable. And you'll get it for 50% off. BWB22. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, Joe here. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Lake Parlin Lodge. We're a 4-season lodge located just south of Jackman. We've got cabins, lodge rooms, mini lodge. We're a big snowmobile destination in the winter, full restaurant, bar, all the amenities that you need for your trip. Open obviously through the summer, right on the lake. Kayaks, canoes, all included with the cabin. We also do a lot of weddings, so if you're looking for a destination wedding, we can do a wedding up to 200 people. And of course, we've got our hunting season, moose season, deer season. So check us out. We're at lakeparlinlodge.com.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good luck on the trail.